What's going on, you brothers? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, back again for yet another classic live stream. First and foremost, brothers, do you hear me loud and clear in the chat? Okay, press A1 if my audio is loud and clear. Okay, who's in the building? We got 7 people in the building. Let me know if my audio is loud and clear. Please press A1 in the chat. Okay, I want to make sure you can hear me clean and crisp. Willie McDaniel, thank you for confirming, bro. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Marvin Lloyd, appreciate you. So I think we're good now. So, brothers, welcome to another classic live stream. I want to say first and foremost, thank you to all those who have supported the movement for the past 10 years now. 8 years, I've had 8, 10 years. I've had this channel, so a long time I've been doing this content. So I appreciate all the support, and of course, welcome aboard the new people, new subscribers, new viewers. I welcome you with open arms and I embrace you too. First and foremost, brothers, when you come in, please hit the like button. Please support the channel via the Cash App, Super Chats, join the Patreon, cop the merch, and again, be a part of the international passport ecosystem, and we'll get it popping, brothers, okay? So, brothers, I have a very special stream today. I have a very special guest with me called Mr. Lord of Beauty. Mr. Lord of Beauty, how you doing, brother?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. I'm doing fantastic, bro. So, oh, I'm hearing feedback. Am I on? I don't know. Now it's gone. Awesome.
I'm not
So,
sure what's going on with the feedback on my end.
no, I think it's gone now. Yeah, it's gone now. Thank you, brother. So, brother, welcome, Mr. Lord of Beauty. Do you mind giving us a brief intro about who you are, where you're from, anything special about you, brother?
Originally from California, moved to Atlanta a few years ago. I run an e-commerce business, so digital business. Make all my money online off my cell phone laptop. As long as I have that, I'm making money. Hobbies: love traveling the world. Been about 30 different countries so far, and I take things a day at a time. Love traveling the world. Love making money, and just enjoying life.
Fantastic, brother. We love hearing that great intro there, brother. Um, so, brother, Turkey,
Hmm.
very interesting country. Um, where were you in Turkey, brother? What city?
I was in Istanbul. So
Okay.
we flew out there for our birthday trips. We hit up Istanbul, and then we traveled to another country after that. But Istanbul was amazing.
Oh, fantastic, brother. Fantastic. Um, awesome. Can I ask you why you picked Istanbul of all cities? Because Turkey is a very big country. There's many other cities there. I'm sure there's other big cities there. I can't
Hmm.
recall it, but why Istanbul, bro?
I was going to Greece years ago when we landed in Istanbul. Since then, I was interested by the city, but I'm a huge fan of Alexander the Great. That's where his sarcophagus was, and a lot of history stuff. So that was one of the reasons. And then the country we went to Egypt from there. So Istanbul was like our party city before we went to Egypt.
Okay, awesome, brother. Awesome, awesome. So let's get straight into it, brother. Turkish woman. Oh,
Mhm.
um, first question to you, brother, is: are the women in Turkey checking heavy for brothers?
Yeah, yeah. You don't really see a lot of them out there, a lot of us out there, and when you do, they're more so of the they're more so the Africans, which is fine, but not a lot of Americans go out there. Or we didn't see a lot, and when we did, we more saw them in a relationship, so they were out there with their girls. So we were gold out there, like everywhere we went. People were staring, talking, and it was an amazing time out there, to say the least.
Oh, wow. And this was in Istanbul, the capital city.
Yeah, that was
Interesting.
Istanbul.
Why do you think, hmm, based on your interactions with Turkish women interpersonally,
Hmm.
what was it about you or the brothers that you were with when you were out there that made them attracted to brothers? There must be some reason that they've not seen brothers, they're not interacting with brothers before. What's the reason for them to be attracted to brothers, these Turkish women?
If you ask my homeboy, he would say because they ain't never seen no one as fly as us. But I don't think that was. I mean, we were dressed good, we were smiling. I think we was just making direct eye contact, smiling. Was that when we go out, we'd buy a bottle or something and enjoy ourselves. So I really just think it was the energy we gave off, to be honest. And the other reason would be they just don't see that many single black men out there. Usually,
Interesting.
when you see, and at least for us in that time we were there for a week. Every time we saw another brother, they were with their girl. So I don't think we really ran into any just brothers by themselves. So we were definitely we stood out from the crowd, definitely.
Brother, when you say you saw brothers with their girl, were they with Turkish women?
No,
These
no, no.
brothers.
They flew them girls there with them from wherever their homes were. They took Sam to the beach.
Awesome, awesome. So, following on from that, brother, um, can you break down the demographics of women that you dealt with apart from Turkish women, right? You told me that it's not just Turkish women that are out there. There's also other groups of women out there that are also checking for brothers. Who did you deal with, brother, and who gave you the most love as well?
So as Istanbul sits right on the two continents. So you could cross the bridge, you're in Europe. Cross the bridge over, you're in Asia. So and then it's one of those few countries where you don't really need a visa to enter. You don't have to get permission to enter. You could just land and go in. So when you get there, it is definitely one of those mixing pots of the world. So we spent a lot of time with Egyptian girls. We spent time with Russians, some girls from Georgia and surrounding. One chick from Siberia, one from I'm not gonna mess up her country, but we spent time with a lot of different girls from all around the world, a few Asians. So it was actually an interesting mix. Some grew up there, some were born there, some, you know, seen opportunity and came there. But it was definitely an interesting mix. Istanbul surprised us by how mixed it was and how many different people were from other spots.
Oh wow, incredible there, brother. So these other groups of women that you dealt with there, they were checking for brothers. Interesting.
Oh
Why
yeah,
do you
yeah,
think so,
yeah.
bro?
And
What is that?
you
Tell
said what?
us. Why are they checking for brothers? These Siberians, these
I'm not
Egyptians
I'm
in
not a
Turkey.
100% sure. I think, it's just that different effect you have when you're from a country they watched on TV their whole life and now they see you in person. Before we arrived there, we were on Tinder and we were getting a lot of matches and hits and stuff like that. So it was interesting to see how they would play out. And like I was telling you before, like anytime we would talk to know somebody, we would never have a no. They might not come over right away because I guess well, we found out later it's really just how the Turkish men are that a lot of these women have trauma. So that when you approach them, they're a little hesitant at first, but once they met you, oh, they were wide open.
Interesting, brother. So your main method of meeting these other groups of women, Siberian, Georgian, was from Tinder.
Some we met out there on the street, some we met at the clubs and stuff. So it was a pretty wide array. Different places. My friend met this amazing, gorgeous Arab chick out there, and that was at a club we just happened to walk by and happened to go in for a drink. So it really just depends where you are. I won't say Tinder was all of it, but Tinder was a good spot to start off before we arrived.
Awesome, brother. So your strategy out there in Turkey was to use online apps. So Tinder was your main app. Then I'm guessing cold approaching,
I was on
meeting at
Tinder, he was on
clubs.
Bumble. It was just, when you're there for a short time, which, 5, 7 days really isn't a long time. It's a long time, but not a long time. It was talk to as many as possible. Cold
Mm.
approach, go to the club, talk to everybody we walked by. Not one pulled away. Not one was like, no, no, leave me alone. So I remember with one night, we was first night there, we was at the nightclub and we're in our little section and every girl in the club must have been staring at us. And we were like, yo, this is crazy. We're about to win. And, girls, some chicks left with their dude, came back by themselves. Like 10
What?
minutes later, and then came and partied with us. They were staring at us the whole time they were with the other dudes. So it was definitely an interesting city to say the least.
Oh, what club was that, brother? Give us that name of that club, please.
I have to check. I have to double check, man. I don't want to give a name.
Okay.
It was on Ishtal Street. So right around there is this busy street called Ishtal Street. It reminds me of the Las Vegas Strip. It's just thousands of people walking up and down it all night. and there is a little break off street with about 7, 8 clubs in a row, and it was right there. We went into we spent a lot of money. We went into each club, to be honest with you, and the entry club is free, so we would go into each club and just eyeball it and see which one we were going. That's why I can't really say the name because we had went into so many that night. It was crazy.
Incredible, bro. Wow, you go into the club and women were looking at you. That's incredible. Were you in
Mm.
VIP or something like that?
We did get VIP at that club, but I don't really think VIP mattered to them at all.
Damn. So
I just think it was because we were different.
you had
Something they don't
literally
see all the time, you know?
interesting, brother. Um, Let me ask this, brother, in regards to Turkish women. Like, because it's in Asia and Europe, right? You would get women that have, blonde hair, blue eyes. Then you also
Hmm.
see women that have, black hair, brown eyes. It's a very diverse mix of looks. Who
Very.
gave you the most love out of the diversity of women out there, brother, in terms of the Turkish woman?
Uh, I couldn't even say. I honestly couldn't say. It was a pretty fair mix of them, you know. It was definitely a fair mix. There was times where we was just with a bunch of brunettes. There was times where we were blondes. There was times where we were Russians. It was actually really just depends on who we were trying to entertain that day, to be honest.
Oh wow, this is great intel so far, bro. Um, so let me flip the question now, brother. In terms of feminism, right? Turkey is a Muslim country,
Hmm.
okay? So I'm expecting it to be conservative. If it's not conservative, push back on me, brother, because I know there's some things
I
that we
didn't
could do.
see conservative out there. I mean, we seen it, but we didn't see it. Like if you go
Oh,
out on the streets, it's not conservative.
oh, interesting.
I think there is a high Muslim population there. There definitely is. You see it, but more so, I didn't really see a lot of that with the Turkish women and or the just the women living there. More so, in my opinion, and this is only mine, the more conservative girls were the Muslim ones who were actually not from there, or they would live in the Muslim neighborhoods. So there were areas where there were real Muslim neighborhoods, and those are not just areas you're going to see around the tourist area. Those are areas you have to go look for. So to say conservative, not in the least.
Okay,
Stomach out, no bras on, short skirts, all that stuff was just running around.
wow. Well, what about in terms of feminism? Was there a strong feminist vibe out there in Istanbul, Turkey?
I really can't say. I didn't see it. I'm sure there is. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there is. But in the short time we were there, we didn't really run across it.
Okay, awesome, brother.
You would run
Um,
more into scammers than
Scam.
feminism. Yeah, you would
Speak on the
run into
speak on the
those.
scammers.
You said what?
What type of scamming would you run into?
They would. So one of the big scams out there is to invite you into the club to buy a section, and what I we picked up on it because we travel, so we knew to ignore it. But you would go in, and a lot of these girls they would have in some clubs, and it's not all the clubs, but the ones where they're like, come in. We got lots of girls, and you go in, there's just a bunch of girls standing around at the tables. They work for the club, so their whole goal is to get you to spend money. But I mean, we seen that around the world, so we instantly knew what the game was. So you
Mm,
would see more of that than anything else. I would more than feminism, than more than covered up, head covered up women. You would see more people. The tourist hustle is what I call it.
interesting, interesting. Thank you, bro. So, following up from this question, brother, is in terms of looks.
Hmm.
Um, are they good looking out there, the women in Turkey?
They actually surprised us. Every country has good looking women, but they were way more curvy than we originally thought they would be.
Damn.
So they definitely have the big hips. You turn to the side, they're slim, thick. They were a lot curvier than we thought they would be.
Okay, so that's a Turkish native woman. What about
Hmm.
the Jordanians, the Russians, etc., etc.?
The Russians, they tend to be tall, thin, slim. You could spot them a mile away. For the most part, the Russians you spot a mile away. We did run into some smaller ones, shorter ones, but usually you could tell who was from there and who wasn't because they did have an obvious different look about them.
Interesting. Thank you, bro. So next question, brother, is in terms of language, um, is English enough to communicate with women out there?
English, yeah, English is enough. You will find some who don't speak English, but they, even when they don't fluently speak English, they speak a little bit, and they were quick to pull out Google Translate and try to tell you what they were trying to get across. So the language barrier wasn't an issue whatsoever.
Okay. Awesome, brother. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, can you break down to me, right, what other races of women you saw out there in Russia and were they checking for brothers? So did you see Japanese women, black women, etc., etc., and how
There
was their
was
love towards you?
there was a lot of Africans out there. So there's a lot of girls from Ghana. Um, there's another country out there where they were from. A lot of Africans. We did see a lot of Russians. We've seen a lot of Arab chicks, a lot of Egyptians. Um, it's like I said, it's a really big melting pot. So you're going to see that for whatever, I guess, where that country is located. You see a lot, but it was definitely a pretty nice melting pot of everybody there. So whatever flavor you are looking for is definitely there.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, bro. Um, Now, what about, brother, in terms of jealousy towards black men, brothers? Obviously, we get a lot of love out there where different women gravitate towards us. Did you experience any sort of animosity from Turkish men out there?
I'm sure they looked at us sideways, but do we experience it? No, no. I think they know who they can kind of play with and not, which is a little messed up to say. But as long as you look like you ain't no one to play with, they don't really bother you. As far as the Turkish men, like they were all welcoming. As far as I could, any shop we went into, they were friendly. Anybody we came across, it was cool. Even when the one time we kind of got into it with somebody, it was because they just kept following us, trying to, help us. They like to call it help us find clubs or help us find stuff. Is really just someone who takes you to all these clubs and gets a commission if you spend money. So even when you run into one of those guys who's doing too much and bothersome, even when you tell them to leave you alone, they would leave you alone. So um, I didn't feel in danger at all, and we were out 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. There was one night we walked home about a mile from where we were, and we didn't feel danger at all. Now I'm sure there's some dangerous areas and all that, but as far as animosity towards us, not at all.
Awesome, brother. So, brother, as a follow up from that, brother, when you are out there, can you explain like the dating dynamics over there in Turkey, in Istanbul? Is it more skewed towards long term relationships or is it short term hooking up out there in the capital city from what you saw and
Um,
experienced?
I'm not sure. Now, what I
Okay.
can tell you is, from what we heard and seen, I guess the Turkish men treat the women really bad.
Oh,
And so they expect Turkish girls, they treat them bad. So when you treat them good, like when it was time for us to leave, girls would be crying, or they didn't really want to mess with us because they're like, "Oh, you're just gonna leave me, and then I'm gonna be hurt." We did experience a lot of that. And then the Egyptian girl said, "Yo, the Turkish men are used to Turkish women not being easy, but they expect all of us foreigner women to be easy." So I'm not really sure the dynamics out there. Now, what I will
hmm.
say is a lot of women had their guard up initially, and we couldn't figure out why. We're like, "Yo, this is a little off. What's going on?" And once we figured out, someone broke the game down to us, why the women were like that, we instantly knew how to adjust our game and be a little bit more open and friendly, and not so quick to just be like, "All right, she's playing games. Let's delete the number."
Oh, brother, that's some good game right there. So, what's your advice to brothers watching this right now as to how to navigate that kind of energy from women who are closed off because Turkish men don't treat them well in Turkey?
I would say how we mitigated that was we would just hit them up like, "Yo, you want to go grab lunch?" Instead of saying, "Come over to the house. Let's go out for drinks. Let's grab lunch," because lunch is nothing formal. It's simple. It's easy. Everybody gets lunch every day. So That's what we did. And then once they spent time with us, seen us, laughed a little bit, then from there it was never no issues.
Interesting. I'm surprised that Turkish men treat them pretty badly. Is there a reason for that? Are the women not
I'm
being
not
cooperative
sure.
towards them?
Like we would talk to girls and stuff, and they would be real closed off. And it was actually a different Turkish girl who informed us, like, "Yo, the reason why," or like, "Yo, we can't seem to win here," and this was like day two. We can't seem to win here, and she's like, "Oh, that's because the men treat everybody horrible." And so a lot of girls are really closed off because they don't want to get hurt, they don't want to get treated bad, and so they start off closed off till they get to know you.
Mm, that's some good game right there. Appreciate that, Lord of Beauty. Fantastic, fantastic. So, as a follow up from that question, brother, um, it's a Muslim country. So, is it acceptable for a man to have different girlfriends, but obviously she can't have different boyfriends, but you as a man can because it's a Muslim country, or would she push back against that?
I was there for 7 days. The G word wasn't even in my vocabulary. So I can't. I've come to learn that women all over the world are the same,
Mm,
and so they always want to be the only one. I've learned that a long time ago. Now, the only ones who don't care are the ones usually only after money. So I'm not sure with that one.
okay, fair enough, brother. Um, when you were there, brother, would you say, from what you saw and experienced, that they have a high body count there in Istanbul, Turkey, or can we find virgins older that have low body counts there?
I'm not sure, brother. That's not even a question I ask at home. I don't want to know, so I'm not sure. I would say they're definitely open. So I don't. At least in that neighborhood we were in, which was the Taxum Square area, they were definitely open. So to say they have a low body count, I don't know, but I ain't gonna say my game was so fire that they just had to leave with me, but that we was on point. So we had a dope Airbnb and everything else. So they come through. They were amazed by the thing, Airbnb, taking pictures, all that stuff. We had drinks in there, so it was pretty easy.
Okay, thank you, brother. So, Scott, can you explain again where you were staying at and why you chose that place to stay at, in specifically
So
in
we
Istanbul, Turkey?
we stayed near the Taksim Square Ishtal area, and that was just the tourist area. Everything was right there. Four Seasons, all the museums were within walking distance. All the nightclubs, all the restaurants, bars, everything was right there. So we actually looked into the area beforehand. So literally, it was about 15 bars and clubs within walking, more than that, probably about 30, 40 within walking distance of our house. So, like, we could literally take 5 steps up the street and turn right, and it was nothing but nightclubs. So, whenever we travel, we try to stay in areas where we know all the clubs are. That way, it's just easier to get right back to the house. You ain't got to
Oh,
get a taxi, wait for people to come join you, none of that.
awesome, brother. Let me ask this now, bro. Are Turkish women feminine?
Yeah, very, very.
Oh,
Definitely can say that. We didn't see too many of the masculated type or I'm in charge type. Usually, most of the ones we ran into let us lead. Well, we don't. I ain't gonna say let us lead, but follow directions. So,
fantastic, man. So, coming on from that, you would say that they're submissive and to an extent wifeable. You would see
oh,
yourself wifing up
definitely,
a chick.
definitely.
Interesting, interesting. And break it down further. Why they're submissive and why they're wifeable, in your opinion, brother?
Well, I think it's just how they were raised. Most of those girls out there, like you say, it is a predominantly Muslim country, and it's just that old world of thinking. Like even the Russians we came across were really where do men take charge, set the place where you want to eat. They might throw out some suggestions and stuff, but if I said no, I don't want to eat there, or I want this, then that's what they were cool with. So why I'm not 100% sure. I just think it's that old world mentality that America somehow has lost. But as far as wifeable, yo, they were very accommodating. Definitely
Interesting,
very
brother.
accommodating.
Interesting, interesting. So now, in terms of like culture and living there and costs, how was that there in Turkey, brother?
Food wise, it was dirt cheap. we was eating for next to nothing a day. Living, I'm not sure like the cost of living, but I can't see it being that much. Everything there was cheap. Like there, we would go get an hour and a half massage and not even break $100, or hit the bathhouses and stuff. We had one favorite little food spot we went to that got famous when Anthony Bourdain went there, a little kebab spot, and I think for both of us to eat, it was like $8. When we would go to the Salt Bay, his steakhouse, get the 24 karat gold steak, coffee, and all that stuff. I think in total between the two of us, it was still under $100. That's what appetite, two, three appetizers, drinks, 24 karat gold steak, all that stuff. So, as far as cost wise, it's dirt cheap out there.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Conrad Grant for the $2 super chat. Appreciate the support, Conrad Grant. IP, another classic fan. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you for the kind words, Conrad Grant. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you very much. Um, Shout out to Mr. Internet for the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Turkey was one of my favorite countries to visit. The history, the ruins, the beautiful olive and brown skinned woman with dark, long, curly hair. Ooh, ooh. I can pitch that right now. Thank you very much, Intellect. Shout out to Mr. Donovan Jr. for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Salute to you once again, IP. Any Central Asian woman like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan over there, Lord of Beauty.
Yeah, there was definitely Kazakhstan. That's one of the countries I did get a girl from. There was definitely a lot of those out there, a lot of them. I can't think of a country where we didn't meet a woman from, to be honest. You see them everywhere. It's just a very big melting pot. So whatever you, like I said, whatever flavor you are looking for from whatever part of the world, you will find them. It might be a little hard, but you will definitely find them.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, bro. Um, so carrying on, brother. In terms of trying to think here. In terms of cold approaching, um, how did you cold approach women out there in Turkey? What was your method? Is it acceptable to cold approach as well?
Oh, it's acceptable wherever you at. Whether it is or not, it wouldn't matter. Definitely we would look at them, smile, make eye contact, and then just walk up to them. The occasions where we couldn't make eye contact, we would still go up to them. Most of them would give us their WhatsApp, or we hit them with follow us on Instagram. That's always a good working strategy. Once they see your pictures, there's always ready to go.
Awesome, brother. And did any woman cold approach you out there?
No, 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 no. We didn't get nothing coming up to us. They would stare at us across the bar or across the restaurant and stuff. We did get a lot of that, but none just really approached us.
Interesting, bro. So a follow-up question from that, brother, is what choosing signal specifically would Turkish women give you for you to actually initiate the cold approach?
It's the same everywhere. They gonna look at you. You gonna make eye contact. You gonna smile. They gonna smile. That's usually the go sign. But most times we just catch them looking at us. They wouldn't speak first, but they definitely would be interested in looking at us. So once we see that, that was the go sign for us. But like I said, when you're in a country for a limited number of days, it behooves you to talk to as many as you can, as fast as you can, and that's usually our move, no matter where we're at. So, like, there was one day I was doing a photo shoot. I seen this gorgeous chick, went and hollered at her. Turns out she's from Egypt, runaway bride. And on top of that, she's a photographer. So I got her WhatsApp, whatever, let her go on her way. Finished up what I'm doing, hit her up the next day, like, yo, I want to get some pictures with you. Let's link up. And she came through. We spent the whole day, went and got tea, everything together. So, I mean, I think it's really just all in your approach, all in your friendliness, kindness, your ability to talk confidently is really what it is.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for that, Lord of Beauty. Um, Going on from that, brother, did you experience any racism there? Any N word you said towards you or out there in the open, in the clubs, etc., etc.?
No, not at all. Not at all. We would have been fighting. I think the only time we had an issue at the club, one club tried to cheat us, and we was ready to throw tables. I think they realized that and stopped playing games with us. But no, we didn't experience no racism. We didn't experience none of that. because it is such an open country. And right in front of us where we stayed, for whatever reason, there was a bunch of African streetwalkers. Whatever reason, I think they got pushed out from where they were. But even then, it wasn't a bother because we would watch them, and Turkish men were all over them all night. They would show up at 11 o'clock at night, be gone by 5 a.m., and Turkish dudes would be all over them. And even I watched the interaction between them and the Turkish guys, and it was never no racism. It was never they would come, smile, laugh, talk to the shop owners, sit there, talk with the shop owners, and even like the coffee shop underneath our apartment. That shop owner was golden. Like he would bring up, we would sit there and drink tea. He would just bring us free lunch, sit down with us. Don't speak hardly any English, but check for us. Make sure we good. There was a few times where he waved people off who was bothering us or trying to come to up. He stopped that right out the gate. Um, we would take his um, coffee cups upstairs and stuff. He never tripped. We'd bring them down the next day. He wouldn't charge us for stuff. So I would say it was just open. I mean, as long as you're friendly and you respect someone's culture, they enjoy seeing that. So I didn't experience no racism out there. That's like a country I go back to over and over. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome, brother. Was it safe out there? And did you travel? Would you say travel alone or in a group? For
It's
safety, would
definitely safe as far as travel alone. I don't think you would ever have no issue out there. Short of minor scams from taxi cabs trying to overcharge you and not turn on the meter. You fuss with them and negotiate because certain times of day, just because you went there that morning for one price, don't mean it's going to cost the same because how heavy traffic was. So they instantly see you American and try to charge you more. We like, nah, I'm not paying that much. I pay this much, and then we'll agree. And even with them trying to charge you, overcharge you, I think when we did the um conversion in our head, it was like $10-15 to get across the city. So it's not like they're really hitting you across the head, but you still, feel some kind of way when they're playing with you. So, but I mean, no, definitely no racism. More scams than racism.
awesome, brother. Awesome. So, is there anything else you want to speak on about in regards to Turkish women or the Turkish society or culture that we should be aware of?
You
Maybe
know,
go on.
that country has went through a lot of changes, not changes, a lot of different back in the day. The Ottomans ran it, the Egyptians ran it, the Romans, the Greeks. So it's an open country. I would say if you go there, go enjoy yourself. There's nightclubs like there's one called Sortie. It's right out on the beach. Very high, probably the most high end out there. Go enjoy it. Walk from there to the parts of town. You're safe at night. Nobody's bother you. Don't do no stupid stuff. Just enjoy your time. Definitely, whatever you do, go to the Turkish bathhouses. Like we were there every day almost. But other than that, man, just enjoy yourself. There's another thing. It's teams. When I say teams, like 4 to 5 teams of girls, just foreign girls from Europe, America, whatever, and they go with their home girls and they're out there. So definitely hit the tourist areas as well and enjoy that because they're all looking to party with someone as well.
Awesome, brother. What about bad parts about Turkish women that you've noticed?
For me, it was a lot of them smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. I hate the smell of it, but that would be the only bad part I caught on. Oh, some don't wear deodorants. That was like a common thing between Turkish and Egypt, or maybe they do, but you catch some being musty a little bit. But that was about it.
What? Oh
Yeah, yeah,
Lord.
yeah. I think that was between men and women. So yeah, I think that was just because we experienced that in Egypt as well. So I just think that's a thing over there. I don't know, but we did run into a few musty people out there.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Um, so following on from that, brother, um, where would you say is the best parts of Istanbul to meet Turkish women? Is it the clubs? Is it the bars? Is it the gardens or coffee shop?
You will never miss at clubs or bars. Never miss. Ishtal Street, and I'm probably Ishtakal, whatever, however it's pronounced. Like I said, it reminds me of Las Vegas Strip. Just hundreds of shoulder to shoulder, thousands of people every night. That was always a good spot we would always hit. Really just right. Oh, I went out on a date with the Egyptian girl and the Russian girl, which is funny. and both of them I had to play like I went the first night. The first time was the Egyptian girl, and then she's like, "Oh, you're going to where?" She's like, "You won't catch a taxi. It's going to be expensive and take hours to get back. When in the daytime, it's only like a 10-minute ride." She's like, "Here, I'm gonna teach you how to use the metro or use my card. I'll take you home." I thought that was interesting. She had me wide open out there. But then when I went out with the Russian girl the next day, she pulled the same move. Well, let's just walk to the metro. I'll put you on the metro. I'm going that way, and I'll make sure you get off at the right stop as well. So I thought it was interesting. That it don't cost much to use the metro anyways, but they look out for you out there, make sure you're good because you don't know the layout of the land. So I would say ride the metro. That's where we caught a lot of bad ones. Like straight dimes was on the metro every time, mind blowing dimes. So I would say to catch the metro. Don't ride taxis all day. Don't isolate yourself, Uber or something. Definitely catch the metro and stuff, and you'll be surprised at who you meet on those public transportations
Interesting. And I'm guessing you cold approach in the metro.
all day, all day. And the way we did it was like, yo, we're trying to find a good spot to go out tonight to eat or for dinner or whatever. Can you give us some recommendations? And from there, it's like, yo, let me get your number. Or are you guys doing anything later? You guys want to grab food? I don't know a woman in the world who denies food or turns down food. So that's what we do. And like I said, take our Instagram because we knew our Instagrams would be looking good. Perception is everything. So even if they're not giving us no attention or paying us attention, the second they see our Instagrams and stuff, that's when they really like, oh, what are you? What do you do? What this? What that? And so it was pretty cool.
Interesting, bro. So as a follow up from that, brother, so you were there for a short time, and I know you must have
Hmm.
smashed times out there, right? So
Yeah.
what was the process from you to cold approach a chick? How long did it take for you to cold approach her, take her out for lunch, and let her be known that you want to smash? Were you very direct with her? I'm here for a
I
short
don't
time.
be
Let's
real
smash.
direct
Or
about, oh, I want to knock you down or something. I more so like, come over later, bring your friend, let's go to drinks, and then we would get them like that. I do think if you just, I don't want to say if you're just honest with them or whatever. I don't believe that if you're straight up like, yo, I just trying to hit later. I don't think you're going to get any good reactions to that one. Because, like I said, they're used to people hurting them. They're used to people dipping out on them. So I don't think that would work. But from the time we'd have the lunch or dinner or whatever, usually the next day or so, they would come over to the house.
to your place, I see. Then you invited to your
Mhm.
place after
Matter of fact, my
dinner.
homeboy got there the night before me. So he arrived that night. I arrived the next day. And we hadn't even got to the Airbnb yet. And by the time we got to the Airbnb to check in, some girl he had met at the hotel the night before, or maybe on Tinder or something, was there waiting for him. And so
Wow.
he's like, I don't think she's gonna give me any. And he's like, well, I was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna just go walk down the street. Y'all do whatever. Come back. She was ready to, down to business. So I don't think you're gonna have issues with that at all.
Interesting, bro. So I like that dynamic. So take her out the day before for lunch, then tell her, okay, come
No,
over to
no,
my place
no,
tomorrow.
no. That was the very first time they met.
No, I mean for you, bro. So you take her out to lunch, right? Then you
Hmm.
tell her, come over to my place tomorrow for drinks.
Nah, I just take them out to lunch, enjoy the thing, no plans, and then I would wait till we got back to Airbnb. And then I was like, "Yo, did you make it home safe?" She's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Like, well, me and my homeboy are grabbing drinks at, let's say, 360, which is a rooftop bar with 360 view of the city. You and your friends come, come dinners on us.
Interesting, fantastic. Okay. Um, and I'm guessing when you're out there in Turkey, you got to pay for a meal and a drinks.
Yeah, but that don't cost nothing. You ain't got to, but I'll feed a chick anywhere in the world. I ain't gonna give you no money, but I'll definitely feed you.
Oh man, I like that. I like that plan there. Interesting. Okay, bro. Um, would you say they're easy women? They're easy to get down with very quickly, or you gotta speak to them,
For me,
caress
it is.
them.
I don't know about for other people. I've heard people say, "Oh, I couldn't had no luck out there," but like I said, it's all in how you look. It's all in your approach. It's all in your confidence. I think if you're confident, yeah, it's really easy
Okay,
because you're
bro.
not going to be offended. Don't nothing bother you. You're smiling. You're touching. I don't mind holding someone's hand. I remember I had dinner at the bridge with this Russian chick from Siberia, and I was like, yeah, because she we matched on Tinder, and we talked. She like, instead of small talk, you want to grab lunch? I'm like, hell yeah! I had just eaten too. I was like, yeah, I'm down for that. So I was like, in my head, I'm gonna just grab a salad or something light. We met up at the bridge, and we sat at the table for about we was in that restaurant for about 4 hours talking. Learned her whole life story. Sunset. I grabbed her hand. We walked up across the bridge over Sunset and shit. And I think she enjoyed that. So I
Okay,
just really think it's confidence. Don't be out there, on some weirdo stuff, and you'll be good. You'd
okay,
be
bro.
surprised how many times I see foreigners on some weirdo stuff out the country, man.
So,
You ain't
brother,
gotta be loud.
just to summarize this, brother, right? To summarize that game aspect there in terms of getting the quick play. So, scenario here: you land in Istanbul on a particular day, right?
Hmm.
You meet a chick on the same day. You have lunch with her tomorrow, right? The next
Right.
day, you chop it up, cool. And then after the lunch finishes, you tell her, "Oh, I'd love to meet you tomorrow again. Do you want to come
Oh
over
yeah.
to
I
my
thought,
place for
yo, let's go
drinks
grab a drink. Bring a friend.
in my place?"
Hmm. Well, no, I don't
Okay.
say at my place. I just say meet me at my place.
Mm, great. Wonderful.
If you
He's a
say
naughty
come to
boy.
my house, their guard's already up. Gotta be a little smoother than that, Come over, we'll meet here, and we'll leave from there. Bring a friend. That makes them feel safe. Don't know the other guy I'm with is just as much of a wolf as me. So I mean, as long as you can make them feel comfortable, make them laugh, you're gonna win.
Okay, so would you say meet me here at this station, and from there we'll go to my place?
I don't even bring up my place unless they're with me.
All right, so you just say meet me here, and then
Hmm.
you meet there, and then you go
So
to
we
your
either
place.
gonna meet at my house and go from there, or we're gonna meet somewhere, and then I'm gonna be like, "Yo, come to the house. We're gonna go do something else from here." But the goal is always to get them to the house. But I feel like, in my opinion, if you just straight up tell some of these girls who are, because we always, I didn't come over here for this, or they'll, oh, don't expect this, don't expect that, but still doing it. I think it's just because you lowered their guard by not making everything seem like it was about that. So it's more so just making an enjoyable evening for them, and then they're going to see themselves with you, and then you're going to win.
Mm, fantastic, awesome. Thanks for that, bro.
Hmm.
Any other interesting insight you want to give about Turkish women to ease their guard down or initiate things with them that are important for brothers you feel like could work for them?
Just carry yourself, man. Have yourself looking good. Your fashion, the way you dress, the way you walk, the talk, the confidence you have, that carries a long way in those countries.
Awesome,
Don't walk
awesome,
around looking bummy. Walk around like you got some style, and you'll be good.
awesome, awesome. All right, thank you very much, Lord of Beauty. All right, brothers, if you have any questions for our guest, please feel free to call in. Mr. Lord of Beauty is here to give you brothers further insight. If you can't call in, please catch up and super chat your question. But I think I've pretty much asked the most important questions in regards to Turkish women out there in Turkey. Lord of Beauty can add in any more if he needs to. Trying to think here. Let me see. In terms of, did you hear any other cities in Turkey that could be good for brothers as well?
Um, I think Cappadocia is nice, but I think that's more so just for tourist stuff. They did tell us some other cities, but I'm not. I just think Istanbul is so big by itself that you're going to win, especially if you go to the Asian side. I don't think too many tourists stay there. They might go look around and stuff, but too many tourists stay there or go out for bars and drinks over there. So when we were over there, we were definitely one of a kind. Another thing we did, there was one day we found out there's a big university down the street from us. So we just showed up with our laptops to go work on the university. And it was really just a ploy to go meet chicks. So I think, I mean,
Was that successful?
oh yeah, you successful as long as you shoot your shot out there.
Okay.
I
Um,
think, out of the 50 or so girls we got our numbers to, if we stayed there an extra week, we probably would have got all 50. But I think really it came down to just time wise and energy. Because even without that, we were doing tourist stuff throughout the day. So another thing we were doing was just reaching out to the girls, asking for recommendations of where to go, what to do. And everybody was like, even that little Egyptian girl who, we was really kicking it heavy with. When I hit Egypt, I was like, "Yo, where should I go for restaurants? Where should I go for this?" And she's quite open.
Interesting, bro. I wanna. I've got two follow-up questions for you, brother.
Hmm.
So you would say the first one is you would say that brothers would do better in the Asian side than the European side.
I think you're gonna win on both sides, but you stand out more on the Asian side because less tourists go there.
Interesting, brother. And when you were in the university campuses, right? Um, how did you code approach there? Were you
Same
in the
way as on the
library?
streets. Simply smile and walk up.
Okay.
Smile and walk up. That is the number one thing to do. The easiest thing to do.
And these
Because
women were
simply
checking for
when you
brothers.
walk up to them and they hear you speak, they know you're not from there, and you already have their interest peaked.
Hmm, very interesting. I've never tried that university game before, but I think I need to add that to my arsenal.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
so you get your laptop, sit
But we do
down.
that here. We do that here. I mean, there's days where I go work at the coffee shop near a school, just to kick it out there and meet people.
Interesting. Okay. Fantastic, Brian. And how do you follow up from meeting a university chick? You free for lunch, like
Yeah.
etc.
Free for
etc.
lunch. You want to go grab drinks later?
Okay.
Typical stuff we pull all over here. I always say when it comes to women, you don't have to recreate a trap. And I hate to call it a trap. Like, if the bait is cheese to catch mice, why switch something else? If it works, it works. And unfortunately, it works everywhere in the world.
When you code approach a chick right in Turkey, particularly university chicks, right?
Hmm.
Do you let them, do you tell them straight up? I think you're beautiful.
No, no, that's some corny stuff, man.
Tell me the opening line you say.
Oh, it's always ask them for some advice or help or directions or something, because it instantly lowers their guard. If I walk up and say, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous. Let me get your number," her guard's up. Well, why? You don't know me. Why would I give you? I have a boyfriend. There was one time we talked to this. I was sitting on this waitress, and I was like, "Yo, let me get your number." She's like, "Why? I have a man." I said, "He don't allow you to have friends," and she started laughing and saying, "You're smooth." But I think it really comes down to just your approaching them. Keep it simple. I mean, if you complicate it by trying to do all this extra stuff, oh, flattery gets you nowhere in this world.
Okay.
So, for A, lower their guard. B, get their number. C, set something up for the next day.
So let me recreate that, brother, in real life, so brothers can see how it is done specifically. Okay, Lord of Beauty.
Hmm.
So I woke up to a chick right. I'll say, "Hey, how are you?" Say, "Hey, I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to find this place here. Do you mind telling me where it is, or the actual address, whatever, whatever?" Yeah, sure. Gets her phone out. She shows me here on the maps. Like, all right, cool. Thank you very much. Are you from around here? It's like, yeah, I go to this university. It's like, awesome. She asks me, what are you doing here? I'm actually a tourist. I'm here to, just to work on my laptop. Um, I'm also free tomorrow. And I want to go to a different place here, but I'm looking for someone to go with me as well. Do you want to
I
join
wouldn't
me?
say right then, I'm free tomorrow. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So
Well,
once I walk up to them, "Yo, what's a good spot to go out tonight?" They're like, "Oh, such and such." I was like, "Okay, cool, cool, cool." And what about, restaurant wise? Where do you recommend? Because we're out here from California. We're just trying to find somewhere to eat. She's like, "Oh, okay." And then once they tell us, I'm like, um, really just depending. Usually I start with, let me get your number. If I have any questions, I'm gonna hit you up if you don't mind. And they're always okay, cool. And then when I'm adding my number, I add my Instagram with my number. So I might put my name, my Instagram with my number. And I was like, "Yo, this is my IG. Hit me up, whatever." And I'll leave it right there. I'll smile and thank them, whatever, and then walk off. because now you didn't ask or try to set nothing up. Their guard's already low. So later that evening, I hit them up like, "Yo, what you up to tomorrow? You want to grab lunch with me?" I'll text them, and every time it's either I can't go tomorrow, I could go this day, or yes, I'd love to.
Ah, that's pretty cool, bro. So, brother, when you give them your number, right? Um, when you're talking, do you say, "Here's my number in case I need to ask you any more questions"?
Yeah,
Let's
I
exchange
say, yeah, I don't
contacts.
say in case. I'll just take my number or give me your number. I don't ask, can I have your number? Here's my number. Or here, put your number on my phone. I don't ask. I don't believe in asking. That's even here. I don't like, can I have your number? It's
But
more
what's
so
the reason for putting a number on your phone?
put in what's the reason for saying it like that?
Yeah. So
I
what's
think
the
if you
reason for
ask, you're
her?
going to get no's. But if you tell them, they're going to listen. Especially if you're saying it confidently, like it's nothing. Like, yo, here, let me get your number real quick. Um, every time it works. I remember back in the day, early days of Instagram, my friends was like, "How are you getting all these girls on Instagram?" I was like, "Yo, I just go in their comments and be like, yo, text me really quick, and I'll drop my number in their comments." And because I didn't say anything about it, just text me, they would automatically text me to see why I wanted them to text them, and then I would just go delete the comment later. I think it's
Okay,
just an authority thing and a confidence thing. Because you have it, it doesn't, and because you're not making it weird, they have no problem doing it. It's not even a thought to them.
interesting, Lord of Beauty. So let me just clarify that. So I'm just a bit perplexed because we do things different here in the UK. Sorry, bro. Um, so while you're speaking about is there a good spot for tonight, she said, "Here, go to this club." So at that moment there, do you then say, "Here, take my number, message me"? But what's the reason? But what would you say after, like, "Here to message me about any other spots that I can go
Mm-mm.
to
I
make
just said,
it?"
"Give me your number. Let me get your number real quick." And they'll be like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I even pulled that move in Egypt at the airport. Me and my homeboy got separated in customs. I'm helping some girl from Georgia get her bags off the thing, and then where sometimes I give my number, sometimes I take their number. So if I'm not really catching a good read off the girl, I give them my number. And the reason for that is that way I'm not no weirdo blowing them up, and they're not really trying to talk to me. Because if I give you my number and you hit me up, now you're interested in me. So I pulled that move on a girl at the airport in Egypt, like, "Yo, take my number. Here's my Instagram." And then I left it at that and walked off.
If they
Sure
ask you
enough,
why,
3 days later, she messaging me.
if they ask you why you want me to take your number, what would you do then, bro?
Oh, I'm gonna be like, so I can hit you up later, if I have any other questions.
Hey, this brother's smooth.
You gotta be quick on your toes, man.
Hey, this brother's smooth. Hey, can you turn your camera on in the background, please, Joe, so I can know you're not a troll? This brother is smooth, man. Let me clap for him real quick. This brother is smooth. Oh, he's Michael Jackson smooth.
Yo,
Jeez.
just don't always be on your toes. Like, don't, it's the same principles everywhere. As long as you leading, not asking, you'll always get a yes. I mean, you might get one who says, "Why do you need my number?" If I have a question, I'm gonna hit you up. And you say it
What?
nonchalant, like don't say it desperate. Don't be out there like I say on the weird stuff. Like, please, oh, you gorgeous. I just want to. I ain't even giving you no compliments. I just need your number in case I get lost. And
Hey,
then when I
bro.
hit you with bring a friend, now your guard is down because now it's just not me and you.
Mm. So when you say, right, hold on, Joe. When you say, bring your friend, but you're the only guy, is that gonna
No, no, no.
work?
I'm not the only guy. I usually bring my
Yeah.
homeboy. So we work in teams. I'll tell you this, like, yo, if I'm having a girl come over, I'm telling her to bring her friend. If he's having a girl come over, he's telling her to bring her friend. Because, like I say, you there for a limited time, so you have to get as much foot traffic as possible.
Damn. So for brothers who are there alone, they can't obviously say bring a friend.
Mm-mm.
What would they then do, bro?
Oh, just invite her out. Invite her out.
Okay.
Like I said, I hit him up and like, let's go to Istanbul 360. Let's go grab a drink. And because it's a rooftop bar, they gonna be with it. I'm gonna be out there with chest out, chain on, all that stuff. So I mean, it's hard. It's hard to lose. It's hard to lose in countries when you're a foreigner because just like in our countries, when you run into a foreigner, they instantly stand out. When you're in another country, you instantly stand out, and they want you to because you're rare. You don't know how many times
Fantastic.
I've been a girl's first Black American all around the world.
Hey, ah, thank you very much, Lord of Beauty. Let me bring in Mr. Joe. He's been very patiently waiting. How you doing, Joe? You okay, brother? I can't hear you, Joe. Can you hear him, Lord of Beauty?
I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Joe. It's probably a connection issue. You probably haven't allowed StreamYard to connect to your audio device. So if you jump off, brother, and jump back in, that should fix it, bro. We'll still be here.
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah.
you now. Yes. How you
Hey,
doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Joe. Welcome back, brother. Hope all is good.
Yeah, appreciate the intel, Lord Beauty.
Thank you, man. No problem.
I was
No
gonna
problem,
say
Joe.
it seems like Turkey, the women there are a little bit more reserved than other countries.
I would say yes and no. It really just depends. Starting out, they were a little reserved because that was what we kept saying. And once we found out the reason why, which is the Turkish men treat them bad, we just changed our approach and our game with them more so to inviting them out to meals and stuff versus hitting them with come through to the house and come see me because
Did
that
you feel
wasn't
like,
working.
yeah, did you feel like the Turkish, the locals were easier, or like the Egyptian or other foreign women were easier to talk to?
I think they were both easy. I would say. I would say they were all easy. I didn't really have no issues with them all at all, but um, I was definitely surprised by the Russians because they would be like, "Yo, let's instead of small talk, let's go out, let's do something." Or if you get a boat this weekend, I'll bring all my girls. Which a yacht for the day is $250, so that was nothing. But we
Ah,
didn't even get to do that. But we were like, "Oh yeah, definitely bring your girls. We're gonna go out tonight. Bring your girls tonight, and we'll set the boat up for Saturday." No,
Yeah.
dang well,
wa-
we was flying out Saturday.
was there obviously freaky-ish happening in the boat?
We didn't get a boat. We had to fly
Ah,
out. We promised the boat, but we didn't get a boat. I used that move in Hawaii. I was promising everybody a sunset cruise and then dip on them after I got what I needed. But I mean, you just got to play it different. I think all the girls were pretty open, and it's simply because we were different. That's honestly what I could say. I don't think the Turkish guys could have got the same amount of girls in the same amount of time. I really don't. Or
hmm.
even a Russian dude. I know that for a fact. But because we were black, we were different. They were for it.
City boys are out.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So, what is that city boy thing? I keep hearing that. What is that?
It's less like it's just the opposite of the city girls, man. We just in the streets acting up.
Yeah.
Hot girl summer stuff, huh?
Mhm.
Interesting. Any more questions for our guest, Joe?
Yeah, so a few of us were like in the tech space and we're trying to obviously get remote work or make money online so we can travel and do the same kind of stuff. But I know you mentioned you're doing like online sales.
Mhm.
I heard about like e-com and Shopify and selling products online. Can you tell us more about like how you got started and just like some of the items, or you don't have to go into specific, but like some of the stuff that you sell?
Oh, me and Lord of Beauty will be speaking on that next week. We got something planned on that, bro. So
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
watch
yeah.
that watch that space, Joe.
Hey, we're gonna do that next week. I'm gonna tell you guys my whole play on how I'm doing 120,000 a month. So
I
we're gonna
bet.
do that next week.
So hold that space there, Joe. Thank you very much. Any more questions regarding Turkish women, Joe?
No.
Awesome. Thank you very much, brother. So brothers, call in to ask the brother about Turkish women. Because some of them are pretty hot. I ain't gonna lie, I've seen some a few. I know quite some here in the UK. Not really my cup of tea, but I'm a man that tries to be objective, and some of them are hot. So if you have any questions about their personality, how they look, etc., etc., now's the time, brothers. Now's the time to ask Mr. Lord of Beauty. Um, you know, any great questions. Okay. Um, Let me ask this, brother. In terms of, would you say these women are materialistic from what you saw, and maybe kind of gold diggers?
No, because there is so much fake material, fake Louis, Gucci, and everything else out there. I don't even think. they question whether you have a real or fake shirt on. Istanbul would have to be the knockoff capital of the world if I was to take a guess. Everybody's in a Louis or Gucci tracksuit out there, so I wouldn't
Interesting.
say they're materialistic. Now, I did have a few girls go on my Instagram and be like, "Yo, what do you do? Are you a rapper? Are you this? Are you that?" And I just laughed, but they was coming through. They was already there by that point, so it really didn't matter what they thought. So no, I don't think they were materialistic. I'm sure there are some, women naturally sometimes can be like that, but I don't think we really ran into any.
How strong is Western culture over there, American culture and all that stuff? Is that a big thing there?
It was interesting because some girls would come over and put like rap songs on YouTube on the TV. Other girls would be on some old school Turkish weird stuff. So I would say our culture is strong because they all knew about everything, but it just depends on the female. Like I was with a girl, the Egyptian chick. She showed up with a Astro World shirt. I'm like, how are you so closed off? I got actually like, oh, I love him. Like, okay, yep, this is about to go real good for us. So it just came down to the girls.
He's like he was doing the Birdman hand rub when she walked through that the
Yo, I
door of the
swear, I
afterworld
swear. She
track.
was like telling me how she ran away from getting married 2 weeks before her wedding. Her family don't know where she is.
Oh,
And all this stuff, like it was an arranged marriage, and how bad her dad was like she had to lie to, work and all this stuff because everything was a sin as according to her dad. And now she's in Istanbul for 4 years, and she's giving me all this rhythm. Shows up in an Astro World shirt. You can't really see her body, but you could tell she's right. Like she took the best photos of me and everything. So I mean, there was definitely giving a.
damn, bro. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Damn. This is crazy. Wow. Oh, okay. I mean, I've heard for a long time that Turkish women have been checking for brothers, in particularly Germany. UK, not so much in the UK. They don't really check for us like that. But in Germany, they get down heavy in brothers, particularly in Berlin. Did you meet any German Turkish chicks there?
No, not at all. But I mean, I know how German chicks are.
This brother knows, man. German chicks, they're something else, man. They are
Oh
something
yes.
else.
Oh man, I already know.
Um, Shout out to Mr. Joe for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Joe, for the support. City boys are up. Yes, indeed. City boys are indeed up. Thank you very much, bro. I know Lord of Beauty is definitely a city boy, without a doubt. Oh man, awesome. Um, all right, so brothers, feel free to call in or cash up and super chat your question. This is the perfect time to ask about Turkey, or we gonna end the stream early, okay? So you got a few minutes to call in. All right, let's get a new call in, some callers. We got over 90 people watching, so don't be shy. We don't bite, we're not vampire, and we're not Dracula, okay? So call in and ask your questions. Um, would you see yourself living there?
I could. I definitely could. I don't know about living there forever, but I can definitely stay out there for a good 3, 4 months and just really enjoy and travel.
Hmm, interesting. Okay. Now let me ask this, right? What about women that were not from Turkey that you dealt with?
Hmm.
Maybe Swedish woman, German woman, Japanese woman. Was that a thing for you there?
What in Turkey?
Yes. Did you deal with any non-Turkish woman?
The Germans, the Russians, the Egyptians, not Germans, the Russians, the Georgians, the Egyptians, all of them.
The ones that weren't living there though, but they were there for holiday.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Most of the ones we ran into lived there. They were there either anywhere from 2 years to 6 months.
Okay. How how did the Georgian woman treat you? Because Georgia, a very conservative country, after my intel on them, very Christian, very conservative. How was she like, brother, dealing with her?
Oh, she was dope. She was dope. They gave us more rhythm than the Turkish girls, to be honest.
Ooh.
Straight out the gate, Russians chicks was like ready to meet up with us and go out for lunch and stuff. they would try to pick some expensive restaurants, but I was like, no, we're gonna go eat over here. The food's good, and they were all okay, no problem. So
Sure. Mm.
there's a lot of Ukrainian girls out there too, because it's funny. You
Ooh,
see the war going on with Russia and Ukraine, and then you go out and this Russian girl brings her Ukrainian friend. But definitely the Georgia, Kazakhstan, we did all those. I mean, we was hanging out with all of them.
awesome, awesome, awesome. This brother said, any Ukrainian women in Turkey? Yes, he just said so. Yes, indeed. Did you deal with one directly? A Ukrainian chick, brother.
No, no, no. My homeboy did, because the Russian chick I was talking to brought her.
Nice, awesome. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Donovan Jr. Yes, Ukrainian women are there. A lot of them actually. I think they took in a lot of Ukrainian women during the war. So if you're into Ukrainian women, Turkey is your best bet, or one of your best bets. Okay, awesome. All right, so 5 more minutes, brothers. If no one calls in 5 minutes, I'm gonna end the stream early. Okay. Trying to think. Trying to think. Let me ask this, brother. STD, STI rates out there in Turkey.
Google could tell you better than me, man. Strap up, wear protection, wash up after you're done. I mean, there's always stuff you can get, always stuff that's out there, but protect yourself. Be responsible. That is a big thing I was taught when I was little by my nurse mom, and it's something that has carried me on to this day.
Okay, brother. Social media, was that a problem amongst Turkish women? A lot of followers, a lot of simps messaging her, or a
I
lot of
Most of the
delusionalness.
girls we ran into had either no social media or very little followers.
Okay, sounding good so far. Okay, interesting. Do I have any more questions? Okay. Oh, let me check the cash app. Sorry, brother. Let me check it right now. Hold on. Oh, sorry, brother. Shout out to the brother, Mr. Conrad Grant, for the £4.42 cash app. Appreciate you, bro. He says here, hello IP, happy Saturday, fam, love and support. Thank you very much for the kind words, Conrad Grant. Hall of Fame member, Patreon member too. I appreciate you very much, Conrad Grant. Thank you very much, bro. Awesome. All right, so I think we're gonna end the stream. Mr. Lord of Beauty, thank you very much for your time in breaking down any Turkish woman intel. Is there anything else you want to add, brother, in regards to Turkish women or etc. etc.?
All right, man, take time to travel the world. You'd be surprised at what you learn and do with these other cultures. Don't be scared, be confident and move, and enjoy it. This world has a lot to offer.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Lord of Beauty. Appreciate that, bro. Thanks to all the brothers who called in. Shout out to Dark Ninja for the $199 super chat. He says, any Moroccan or Azerbaijan chicks?
I can't pronounce that right. Azerbaijan. Yes, that was the last night I was there. She was the coldest.
Oh, okay. Break it down for it. Coldest meaning most good looking.
She was gorgeous. She was short. She was thick and curvy. Pierced tongue, pierced nip. Oh, she was right. She was perfect. I mean, I don't know what to say. I had a good time with her.
Okay, interesting. We know what a good time is. Thank you very much, bro. Yes, so is that quite common, Azerbaijan chicks, or was that rare to meet one?
I don't know. That was the first I've ever ran into.
And how did you meet her? Tinder?
No. One of the girls she brought her. That was the friend her girl brought for me. My homeboy had a girl bring her friend, and that's who she brought.
Nice. Okay, thank you, bro. Thank you. Great super chat there, Dark Ninja. All right, so thank you, brothers, for the time out today. Thank you to our guests. As you know, brothers, I'll be teaching a IT Python course in November. So make sure you join the Patreon Diamond tier if you want to be a part of the course itself. I told you IT is a very flexible field for you brothers to work in for remote travel and helping funding your international passport lifestyle. So make sure you join the Patreon Diamond tier. You send me a DM, hey IP, I want to join. The Python course, and I will add you to the list. Okay. I'm looking forward to teaching you brothers. It's gonna be good. Gonna be very informative, and I'm gonna get you brothers into IT ASAP to see how it's like there and get your skills up. So in 2023, we start making those moves. Okay. I want you brothers out there. Okay. Watch the channel, but of course also travel as well to meet the woman of your dreams. So, Lord of Beauty, thank you, brother,
No
for what
problem.
you've done today. Much appreciated. Brothers, have a great day wherever you are. And I'll see you, brothers, on my next video stream. Thank you very much, brothers. Take it easy, brothers. Thank you.